Hello. We are trying something new today. We finally got the fire showing. Got the fire showing. Got the fire showing for hope. The fire showing for Wisdom Wednesday. Got the fire showing for like the weekly adjustment, which this is. We're talking about hope. You can use different words. We have talked about hope before, but at the same time, I kind of words are not necessarily the most important. They're just the connection. So when the group changes and are at different levels of energy, then these words have different meaning. And we are at a new level, a different level. We have that's why new people come in to the space, because the energy is different. And where people are kind of ready to connect, because it's kind of about connecting to hope, or to the divine, to the teacher, to purpose, to life. It's funny. I hope everybody sees me. It still needs a little bit more light, but we're working on a new setting. We're kind of cleaning up the old Oasis in Chicago so that we can bring more focus into this. That's why, like, when we do open up, when we come into the space, there's a connection, there's a glimmer, there's a hope, there's an energy connection. So that kind of lets us feel like a good feeling. We've had good feelings before in life, in different things. We have all these feelings inside. But here there's an energy, there's connection, there's a life connection to it. So then with it comes up energy that also needs to clean out. Cleaning out is a little bit like getting sick, or like getting heavy, or getting suddenly we're brighter. The more hope, the more life we have, suddenly more darkness can also come out to clean out, like nervousness, anxiety, sadness, anger, confusion, all these things. So it can be a confusing part of that journey that as we open up more, we can also, let's see, there we are. We can also, it's funny with the light here, kind of goes in and out. We can also feel the dark side, kind of. We usually kind of want just one side and not the other side. But growing and maturing is to realize, see, that's why we do talk about it. I've had people come to me before, and then they get filled with light, and then they're just like, I'm just gonna go away. But then you don't really, you can just block out, and when the darkness comes, you're just like, well, I don't want to feel that, and then you just close off again. But that stuff is kind of the clearing out of the channels of kind of the ancestors of like the heavy energies that are also there. That's why, like, when people just come for clearing, then without purpose, without continuity, then it kind of loses like its purpose, and it won't really allow you to open up too much deeper and to kind of create like this vehicle of hope. Now we're talking about hope. So we are kind of here to experience, to to experience this vehicle being able to kind of start to come to life. But it's only like after I started this kind of awakening that I realized suddenly, like, I hadn't really felt pain before in my body. Pain is just like energy coming into the body sometimes, when there's coming energy into kind of a compressed energy, like ice, or like it's like almost like frozen as a mountain. It has to kind of break open the mountain almost. It's solid. It has to start breaking open, like when it's just like stuck. It's almost like, yeah, it's like when people get into car accidents, different stuff. Sometimes stuff breaks open. Something that might have been suppressed. When somebody has a breakup or different stuff, they break open something. So that solidness of money, a mountain, that is kind of where we go in to the body to break open stuff. So that's like the focus. That is like the first level of the hips. The first level awakening is that focus, the intention, the teacher, like that kind of surrendering to that, allowing to energy come into the mountain to break it open, because it's already kind of open. There's cracks. There's already cracks in the mountain, so to speak, and that's where the ice is. So the energy comes in and then starts to shake it loose. It's like a shaking. So then that starts to kind of make the mountain move, and then it starts to um, shake loose the ice. And then we have to kind of, you know, dare to kind of seek compassion, seek faith. Faith is kind of the second level of the path, so to speak. It's like funny that the light comes in and out. The compassion, because it has to do that you want to kind of allow that which is, and you want to kind of show compassion, you want to kind of allow it to open. That means that you want to like treat it with kindness, with love. And that's kind of where the river comes in. So then when we start attaching ourselves to the river, that's when the ice start turning from ice, which is kind of stable and controlled, into like the flow to the river. That also awakens like a lot of emotions that suddenly has kind of just been frozen in ice, that is there, but we're just kind of been shoving it away in the freezer there or under the shelf or different stuff. So then in that faith, we dare to say like, okay, I'm here for the right. There's a purpose here. It's like, I trust, I have faith. It's like a prayer when people pray to God. They're like, okay, I trust that I'm with God. I trust. So here, like from the purpose, then we have to dare to say, I trust and I have faith. I dare to have patience with the process. That is kind of where we start opening up that flow up. That water comes up then in the heart region, that where the heart is, goes up, flows up. But then also then certain releases that needs to be happening. And then the next level, it's like when it was faith, it's more like saying, I have faith. It's like a prayer. I have faith. Surrender. I have faith. Then gradually, as it lifts up in our mind, then that's where hope resides. Hope is like, it's an optimism, like, yes, I have hope. It is kind of an affirmation, almost like, yes, there is hope there. So then that water goes from water to air, or like from damp, so it evaporates. So it's transforming the energy, releasing the energy as we're kind of allowing to go through this process. That's why I talk about the process. So that's like where this is, the energy kind of comes in from the teacher, is kind of supplies energy to the process. It's like I put fire onto the water, to the ice. I'm shaking. So then it starts heating up and it starts traveling upwards, following the pressure increases. So we follow these internal pressures, and then we might, the body might not be used to this energy flow. It might just be used to just being kind of compressed and everything ice or I. But then, or sometimes we have too much waters, emotions that we have experienced, we have kind of put it away. We usually like to just have it as ice. But then water, then to kind of like have hope, then that is like we dare to just step in and say yes. So that's where, like, when people come in there has to be some kind of hope, or that is like there's always already an optimism there, something. So there's already a maturity when people get pulled into this space, because this journey takes will challenge you, because there's a releasing process going on. It's like the body getting sick and has to discharge, and it has to kind of release stuff. So it's a journey of energy. And as that energy gets connected in the body, that's what people talk about, the womb space, or like their intuition. Then it feels like you are connected to the energy. You are connected to it. That is like, then it becomes consciousness. It becomes alive. It becomes breath, something that is moving. So then it starts breathing up, and then at the same time, at the water level, then it starts to move upwards, and then it becomes kind of a solemnity, kind of a, you know that there's going to be a feeling of sadness, because there also are energies of sadness that has to be released to expand that heart connection. There we are. It's so funny. That heart connection is, mm, ooh, that heart connection can expand. These things can expand, like physically and also emotionally. The heart can expand from that. Like, I just love some things, to suddenly there's a bigger, greater love that comes in as you kind of break open the heart. The heart starts flowing more, start start to breathe with water, and it starts to become air, get filled with consciousness, with breath. And then it continues, and then that's what the teacher is kind of like helping to kind of activate it and keep bringing it in consciousness, and to talk about it and bring focus on this, so that we can have more breath than we might naturally do ourselves. So it's like that's the teacher's role, to kind of assist with that connection, to kind of help bringing the energy, continue the focus, not focus too much on the energy, and not focus too much on what you feel, but keep the purpose alive, keep the faith alive in the heart, and keep them in the mind, keeping hope alive, seeing the big, being where we're headed. And that's when we go from hope, then we start to, like, I hope, that's like, I hope I'm going to have a boyfriend. But it's almost like, it's not, the faith is like, okay, yeah, I hope I trust I'm going to have a boyfriend one day. It's like more of prayer. But then gradually it's like, no, I'm ready. It's hope. It's like more of a positive energy. I'm ready. And then you have to be ready. So that's when we open up here, we kind of open up to that readiness. That's the hope. And then we connect to the magic, to suddenly like, oh, then we're like, we're opening ourselves up. We're opening up energy body to connecting with, like, oh, we're opening up to feel where there's breath, where there's life. where something connects with you, a boyfriend or a dog or a job or a life or different things, that suddenly you're like, oh, I connect with it. And then you have to kind of allow it to kind of breathe by itself. It has to be life that you can just put your just despair and sadness on it and be like, please carry me. But you have to dare to connect and say, yes. That's the hope that is like becomes, you become a grown up where you're like, yes, I dare to like live this life. I dare to honor this job. I dare to honor my life. I dare to walk my own path. So that's when we connect. And then that's where the teacher is also here to kind of help you to see kind of further than maybe sometimes you don't, what you see yourself. Because there is out there, but you might not see or feel the connection. That's the hope is not necessarily totally connected. It's like it's just looking. I'm like you're daring to open your arms. So sometimes like well, I don't want to hope. Then you can say no, I don't want hope. I don't want to go here. I don't want to. So then when we talk, sometimes it's daring to just be okay. I dare to open up to hope. I dare to open up to the potentials that are there. But then we can't just hope for anything. We have to kind of be focused. We don't want to focus our energy and not just want everything. We want everything that just becomes desperation and neediness and illusion and like that we've been filled with all these things that doesn't necessarily it's not necessarily our past. So that is when we kind of connect with our life to kind of honor the energy. We have to honor our life. That's when it can open up, and that's when we can start to flow with it, and then that's when we can start to connect with the magic, and then that's when we suddenly like can almost open up to that breath and to the stability of these different levels, which the teacher kind of helps to breathe these levels inside of you. That's why you will suddenly feel like, oh, you go through these levels because we're kind of here connected. And then that helps you to see the connection that within yourself. The more you are connected to your life, the more it's easier to just trust and enjoy and have fun, and then realize that that's the expandedness of your life force, of the energy of your body, of your energy body, of yourself. Then you can start going like as you're up in the mountains, looking into the, for Eastern, it's just like snow as far as you can see, and you're just like taking in the sun. You're just like expanded, and but you're also just at ease. You have to kind of dare to. That's why you can't just be desperate about it. You don't want to be desperate. Desperate hope is like positive. It's just like, yes, dare to. I'd also dare to sit back and relax and enjoy the process. You don't want to receive something before you're ready for it. You don't want to, you want, and then you don't want to just believe that you're going to have all the stuff that might not necessarily be for you. Every life has a flow. Everything has something. So sometimes we can be like, oh, I need this, and be like, well, after a while, be like, actually, maybe I didn't need that. Maybe that was for somebody else. Everybody has their life. So then we have to dare to like, so when we talk in the group here, like then, and with people here, everybody will experience it differently because people come in, some people come more in from the physical, some people come more in from the heart, some people come in from the mind. So some people are more in the hope, some people are more in the faith, some people are more in the intention, some people are more in the spirit of the connection to the teacher, to the just to the divine, to the magic. So everybody has their kind of way, and then we have to kind of clear and these other parts of the body to start opening up and to enjoy these parts. And so that's what we're here to do. For the ones I talk about this, right, because it's kind of helping the hope to expand and to see and not just open up, because we've been fed hope and we've had bliss and we've had all these things, but we've been fed things about like I need to do everything myself, and I need to not trust, and I need to be like, and all this seriousness, this heaviness can kind of be very serious and suspicious. But then that is not hope, really. Hope isn't suspicious. Hope is clarity, and then you have to dare to like give it time, trust. I guess that is just when it just goes, and then it just, when you're just open and have hope, you hope, you live in hope, then suddenly just you are connected. So that fourth level is just that connection that you will experience on different levels as you kind of go deeper at different times. You will start going through different levels. So it is a kind of a process that kind of takes time, because there's a body that kind of, and emotions and all this stuff that we have to go through. We can't just expand our energy. We have to kind of, we can expand it, but we also have to ground it. You have to make it peaceful and easy and grown up, and not desperate. Desperate be like, I want just everything to be fixed right now. We can open up to it, but then we also just have to just enjoy living our life, accepting where we are. That is the acceptance. We can only hope when we accept where we are. So we have to see ourselves. So that's why we sometimes, you have to be like, oh, maybe I'm kind of delusional. Maybe I'm like looking for the wrong things. Then you're not, you don't really have hope. You're just have delusion. So to kind of really want something, you have to dare to see yourself and receive, and be like, dare to be corrected, and be like, dare to ask like, is this maybe not where do I need this? Dare to ask questions, good questions in the process. So that is the conversation. That is the connection. That was conversation. Where people, a lot of times, our family, our lovers, our husband or wives, or people around you don't really dare to tell you the truth. They kind of um, they want to just be nice to you. So that's where like the delusion are, like that's where you see the whole world can easily be deluded into like what they need and what they don't need, and don't experience like the bliss of you can even be happy in prison. You can be happy anywhere. You can live in that hope and live in the glory anywhere. So anyway, uh, yeah, let's take it in to the into the body, into the this receiving, into the surrender, closing your eyes. Yeah, then we have to kind of, when we take it in, then we step into the body. We allow it to kind of come down and in. We can just live up in hope too, if you're not just in kind of acceptance and in surrender. Then we come into the body, and then we can start just enjoying. That's where the enjoyment comes. Like, wow, we can enjoy feelings, we can enjoy uncertainty, we can enjoy everything. There's can hope even when you are uncertain. There can be hope even when you feel pain. There can be hope even when you don't know. Mm. Yeah. So let's drop the shoulders. Mm. Drop your shoulders a little bit more. Yeah, lifts up your hips a little bit more. There we are. Start to come in, prickling in your forehead, and just coming in. Yeah, open up your hips up a little bit more. Stretch out your fingers, your toes, your ankles, your wrists, your hands. Mm. Yeah, drop your shoulders a little bit more. And it's just coming down, down from the head, down into your chest, into your belly. Oh, like open up your mouth like the yawn. Mm. Good. Stretch out your toes, your feet. So kind of doing the second part where we kind of allow it, digesting it as a meal. If you, if this is the first time you hear, allowing the meal to be digested, to be released. We're letting the energy in. The intention, the teacher brings the tension, that opens the gate, and then we have to give patience and time for that, for it to move through the body. Good. Lift up the hips a little bit more. Open those legs up. Stretch out your knees and your toes. Yeah, there we are. Start to come down into your feet, into your ground. Yeah, and there it comes up again, up to your legs, up into your feet, up into your groin, up into your belly, up into your. It's kind of like, can be like electric, like a shock almost in your chest, like shocking pain, like touching electricity, being stung, kind of up into your head and out. And good, 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 good. If this is the first time here, welcome. You can find more if you just hit you on YouTube or somewhere else. You can find more on Patreon, or you can go in there and download it there too, or check out more sessions. Go deeper if you want to, and share it with other people if there are, like, there's people. Share it on YouTube or on Patreon and get more people coming. There's people waiting to be awakened and to start integrating into the body, which is kind of the focus here. Ease of life brings you more into body being. So With that said, let me know how you're doing, what was going on with you, if you watch it now or later or whatnot. It's always fun to hear, and I might give some feedback or suggest other stuff for any one of you, either it's a book or a one-on-one or a retreat or whatnot, or just text you some stuff that might help you see what's going on. Anyway, it's been a beautiful day and a beautiful Wednesday for those who watches it today, and I will see you next Wednesday or whenever. Bye bye.